Recorded. Welcome back, everybody. Week 184 of the Light Codes messages and Light Codes transmission. Today I didn't have a lot of visions, but today's Light Codes were very much about teachings, and there were, excuse me, a lot of light language messages coming through the emotional body, lower mental body, high mental body, and spiritual body, giving us teachings about how to, I guess, how to heal, how to master those bodies. Very interesting indeed. The first vision that I did have was earlier on in the, relatively early on in the transmission, and it was it was to do with unifying the chakras, and in particular with the heart as the one unified chakra. And in particular, this was to do with the solar plexus and the throat chakra. And I had a vision of a praying mantis stepping up onto a light leaf, a leaf that was light. And I really understand this message as very much about, not turning over a leaf, but turning onto the leaf of light, turning yourself, become, it's a praying mantis. So it's about, devotion. It's about, taking the path of light, stepping up onto that ledge, which just happened to be a leaf, up onto that higher level, to, become more light and to do your spiritual practices. And the next vision that I had was, as all of the chakras had become fully unified, I saw the big A, and the big A is, people that follow my work will understand that the big A always comes up for me. It is to do with ascension, to do with awakening, and it came there. So it was like, now even more than ever, step up, because we are being reminded week after week after week to place our focus toward the ascension and our awakening. I didn't have any more visions then until the very end, but there were a lot of light language teachings coming through with very quite long messages as well, which will help you to awaken, to remember. So the language will speak to your soul. You will understand it at the soul level. The ego doesn't need to be involved at all, but you will start to understand things of your own lessons and things in life. They will start to make sense to you, and you'll start to move forward from it. The final vision that I had, well, it was two visions, but the same vision, but two parts of it, was in the spiritual body. So when I do these transmissions, I'm actually looking for the collective through, in a general sense, through what a certain degree of people are ready to work through. And so I'm looking at like the collective aura, so to speak. And in the spiritual body, I saw the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and that first of all, they were facing each other, holding, two hands. And then they let go of one hands were let go, a set of hands were let go. They were holding hands and looking forward. But there was a great deal of emotion with this particular part of the transmission. And I felt very much that, and it was like a grief or something, but there was a lot of emotion in this. Actually, I'm not even going to say what I think it was, because if you choose to purchase the light codes, which you can find in the links below, you will have your own experience, and you will open and you'll understand. And when you listen to the messages, you'll know what it's saying to you, because to each and every one of us, these messages, they are sacred messages. They are awakening us to the ancient wisdom teachings and bringing that forward for us again now, because we're ready. We need that. We need that now. And my feeling is that there is going to be, this is the 1st of November, very auspicious month. And there will be some very auspicious moments through this month, and in particular 11/11 will be coming up next week, and even this week on the 4th of November, which actually becomes an 11-day as well. So there is, some powerful portals happening this month, and there will be a lot of wisdom teachings coming through. My feeling is that there'll be a lot more light language as opposed to light code so much through this month. Bringing through the wisdom teachings so that we can have that information without our ego being involved. So it's really good to just let the ego go and just allow ourselves to move forward as the divine guide us. And so I did the cards, so we get a little bit more information from looking at the cards. And really interestingly, this is exactly the same card that came up in the first position last week. It's card number 37, and it's correct your mistakes. And as I mentioned last week, the 3 and the 7 are the two most, magical, mystical numbers of all, and they help us to unlock the sacred mysteries of the architecture of humanity. So whatever the mysteries are within ourselves, and this is what I feel that the teachings are bringing through for us at the moment. And correct our mistakes is, I think, we have, as a collective, humanity in general for thousands of years have made many mistakes. So, going beyond our personality point here, this is about correcting the mistakes, the big mistakes, the bigger picture mistakes. And we now are needing to have these wisdom messages and teachings come through to us so that we know how to deal with this situation that we are faced with collectively at the moment. And the second card in the sacral chakra is the King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. And this is really about balancing the mental and the emotional side of us, which is the magic of being able to do that. And that's what came through. They started coming through, the wisdom teaching started coming through in the emotional body. So you can see all the unicorns here coming forward and, really tapping into that magic of how to master the emotions, how to cross over that bridge of the emotional bridge and into a balanced state of mind. And the third card today, the solar plexus card, is the house. And this is all about coming home to yourself. Balance those emotions and come home to yourself. Stop looking outside of yourself at other people or another person, with relationships and things like that. Come home to yourself. You must come home to yourself. We all need to come home to ourselves. And the heart card today is about balance. It's card number 14. So this is about the truth, it's about change, and it is about balance of the masculine and feminine, developing and balancing the masculine and feminine. Come home to yourself. And when you come home to yourself, you really will balance out that masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. So coming home to yourself and finding that balance. In the truth chakra today, we have the 8 of Wands, and this is suggesting that there's a very fast energy coming forward, very fast. The truth is going to be brought out into the open very fast. It's going to happen really fast. So therefore, you need to be balanced. You need to be balanced, because when things start to change, it's going to change fast. We're not going to have just this little dribble. We're being fed dribble to brainwash us and all that sort of stuff. But as the collective wake up, it will happen really fast, and it could be overwhelming. So we really need to be balanced. And this is why the wisdom teachings are coming through now, because we need that knowledge within us to start to open us without having ego attached to it, without saying, it means this and this and this. We just need to know it within ourselves, and that will bring the balance, that will bring the stillness for us to be able to handle these great changes. And in the Brow Chakra, it is the card of sacred relationship. Now, this sacred relationship, again, is a sacred relationship with yourself and a sacred relationship, obviously, with the higher self, with the divine. Build that sacred relationship with the divine. So coming home to yourself, and you're building that with yourself, you're balancing and developing and balancing out your masculine and feminine within yourself, coming into union within yourself, which means that you are able to have that sacred relationship with the divine, because this is all about ascension, people, going further. And trust, Vishnu coming through in the crown, trust. Stay with the trust. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your trust. Trust, trust, trust. And very powerful energy coming through for us there. And in the Omega chakra, so this is to do with the path that we are to walk right now. This is the divine feminine, is calling us forward to walk the path of peace. Offer peace. Walk the path of peace, whatever it is that is going to bring you peace. So if you have to make a decision about something, you may have choices. Sit with it and decide which choice brings you the most peace. Just sit with it. How do I feel if I make that choice? Do I feel at peace? How do I feel if I make that choice? Do I feel at peace? Choose the path of least resistance. Choose the path that is going to bring you peace. That is what we all need to do right now. Choose the card that is going to bring peace. And the final card in Alpha today, the divine masculine, and the direction that we are being guided to follow is Ascended Master El Moria. And El Moria asks us to follow or to accept thy will, not my will. Don't force things from our own little wills. Know that there is a divine will happening here, and ask that we be in alignment with divine will and act in accordance to that. And that is very much easier when we have found a sacred relationship with ourselves and come home by coming home to ourselves. So that is the message for today, and I really do hope, last week's light codes were really very powerful, and I hope that you choose to check in on my shop and get some of these light codes to help you awaken further, to help you to embody and activate the ancient teachings that we are, teachings of light that we are needing to reactivate within ourselves now. Thank you for listening once again. See you next week. Subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff, share. I'm going to see you next week. Bye.